Hope should be S tier. Honestly, Hope is probably the easiest one for me to rank. All right. So yeah, let me rank these, and then I might give my opinions on how the mod jam in general, I think, afterwards. But I don't actually know what to get started with here. Let's start from the left right now. Echoes of Tomorrow. Let's do it. Right, Hope it's the easiest. Then we'll, I don't know. Right now, I'm going off of Echoes of Tomorrow. So Echoes of Tomorrow is the one I think we just played. I remember it was good. Oh no, this one was the one, right? No, this one was the one with the with the AI potential of CG. This is the one that had the CG that was potentially AI, right? Okay. This one was pretty good. I liked it for the most part. You know, I thought that was a pretty good one. I'm still confused about the I'm confused about the colors of their blazers. I don't know why they're blue. I don't think we ever actually got an explanation for why their blazers are different colors. It just kind of was a thing, I guess. I don't know if I'll ever get an answer. The music, well, I remember it was questionable. There was those parts that had like the Avengers sounding soundtrack. Like I don't know why that was there. Yeah, like that really like weirdly uplifting music. It was like not even uplifting. I don't know. It was like actiony cinematic music. I don't know. I didn't think that it didn't really fit the tone a lot. One of the other weird parts about this mod, remember, was Yuri just randomly showed Yuri's cutting. And I was like, okay, like, you know, sure, whatever. I didn't really think much of it, you know. I thought that was going to be brought up later. It just never was. They just randomly showed Yuri cutting. And it was like, all right. And it was brought up later, but it was brought up in like one line where MC was just like, Yuri's talked about her problems and we fixed them. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that I'm glad that was handled. Like it almost felt like you could have just easily removed Yuri's cutting and even have to be there. Most of the characters were in character for the most part. I think the only thing that felt kind of wonky was when Natsuki kind of snapped. I felt like Natsuki was way too angry. Like she was like way too rude. Like I think she was like pressing onto Yuri. It was a little too much from Natsuki at that point. But everyone else, I think, felt kind of believable. Monica snapping after what Natsuki did to Yuri, I think, kind of makes sense. Because, you know, I think she was just kind of fed up with, you know, the fact that Natsuki just made one of their club members leave. So, you know, Monica's little mistake of what she said there made sense. I liked all of them talking to MC before he, you know, attempts to join Sayori. Yeah, for the most part, it was pretty nice. Obviously, the ending part where MC talks to the grave, that was nice too. You know, is the standard scene of the guy talking to the grave. You know, it's one of those tropes that you really like. I really like. It's a nice one. But yeah. Overall though, at least the Natsuki's father issue was brought up by Monica in their argument, so I guess that had a payout. Yeah. Like, yeah, that one at least, yeah, like, had a payout to a degree. It wasn't fully focused on. Yuri's, like, cutting thing had, like, a full scene dedicated to it. That's what made me feel like we should have probably got more there. Like, if you were gonna dedicate an entire, like, scene to us seeing her cut. But, yeah, I think it might be, like, a solid B, I think I'd probably give it. Because the music does ruin some of the moments that could be really nice. Like, you know, because some of the music option was just not the best. With the fucking, like, like I said, the Avengers sounding music made it hard for me to take it seriously at times. So I think Echoes of Tomorrow is probably a solid B tier, I think. I don't remember any grammar issues from this one, as far as I can remember. I know the next one is definitely the one with the grammar issues. Yeah, Celestial Restraint. This one, I remember, had a lot grammar issues. I think that was actually one of the main issues I had with this mod was, yeah, the grammar was definitely a miss point for me. It was really hard to like really enjoy a lot of the scenes because a lot of the grammar was just all over the place. As Chad already made the joke about, there was racist Sayori where she mentioned that our humor was too black. It was like, huh? Yeah, bruh. Yeah, there was the part where Sayori just said bruh. There was that. There was also the fact that there was a lot of just kind of like Act 1 scenes. Like a lot of it was vanilla dialogue, which not a big fan. And I think a lot of people aren't really huge fans. I think vanilla dialogue can work in little sections, right? Like if you put it in little parts, sure. But a good majority of this mod was, if you played the Yuri route of base DDLC, you're gonna notice that you're rereading a lot of the same like dialogue and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay. I think the date scene was cute. I liked that. The date with Yuri was cute. There was... what else? Because there was that. Oh, there was the CG at the end with Sayori. There was like the talk with Sayori. That with the CG at the end was nice. I like the CG. That was another thing about this mod. I totally forgot this was the mod with the Sayori CG because I forgot this mod kind of flip-flops in terms of what it wants to focus on, because it goes from like focusing heavily on Yuri in the beginning with kind of a focus on Sayori. Not really, she's just kind of there. But then randomly really focusing on Sayori in like the last parts of the mod. And I'm just like, okay, now it's about Sayori. What? Huh? Like, it was very, very weird. Sayori being left outside for 30 minutes. Yeah, she was like, yeah, I hope she's okay. They just left her outside there watching us from the window. It was a very, very wonky, I think, mod. But it was enjoyable, like, when it worked. Like, it was when there was time, like, I think MC's ending dialogue when he was talking to Sayori, I don't remember that being that bad. I remember most of the girls feeling in character, too. I don't think there was any giant, crazy character mischaracterizations. I remember Monica probably being odd. I think Monica's expressions were weird. I remember her, like, we're looking mad or something. I don't remember. I remember her caring about Sayori, so I don't think she was angry or anything. They were in the character for the most part, if I remember, because I don't remember any really wild mischaracterizations, so it seems like that was okay. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't really fully enjoy it due to the grammar. I'm sorry. I might have to give this like a C, I think. I think if the grammar was fixed, I think I could probably, in good faith, give it a B, but I think I might have to give it like a C, because a lot of the stuff, I don't know really what's happening or what's being said a lot of the time. And it has shown when the grammar is good, I can enjoy myself with it. When it worked, but like when I didn't understand what was being said, it was hard for me to fully enjoy myself, so I might have to give it a C, sadly. I say sadly, but C is still average. It's good. It's a C. If we had C+, it would get a C+, but I don't know if I'm doing that. I don't know. I'm still trying to hold out. How's it going? Hello, Mercurial Equilibrium. Oh, you're the creator of Cardboard Box, aren't you? We haven't gotten to your mod yet. I remember seeing your comment on the video. Act 4 Plus. All right, what was this one? This one was right. So this one was the like rewrite of DDLC. Well, not rewrite. It was like the re-go, I guess, because this was the story of this one was after the game gets all deleted and stuff. Like Sayori and Monica like bring the game back to try to fix it, right? So then, you know, a lot of it was vanilla, I remember, which wasn't too, it wasn't fully vanilla. Like it was a little different vanilla, right? Like it was a little change, but I don't think it was changed enough. It still felt like it was a little too much where it was like, all right, you know, you kind of wish a little more was added. I think this one also didn't have the best of grammar, too. I remember this also having some grammar stuff. I don't think it was as bad as Celestial Restraint. I remember being able to understand what was going on. I think it was just some of the dialogue was very odd. That's also what it was. I don't think it was a full-on grammar issue. It was also just like some of the dialogue didn't feel like it flowed that well. Some of it felt very like robotic. Some things just didn't really like fully flow together. Like I said, it didn't really flow together well. Like it didn't really have like a good conversation. It felt like the characters were just kind of saying things because they had to say it. But I don't know. I don't think there's really much to say about this one overall. It was pretty standard there. I remember that I think this one had the sleepover, I think is like close to the ending part of it. I think that part was kind of funny. I did like that. I liked the sleepover at the end, and I think they were talking about visual novels. Like this one started getting really better close to the end, I think, if I recall. There really isn't much to say. I feel like I'm kind of at a loss for what to say here, because I don't know, there really wasn't much to say about this mod. Like a good majority of it was just kind of a DDLC Act 1, but, you know, if MC hung out with, you know, tried to spend his time with everybody. Like, I thought that was kind of cool. But, right, that's what it was. I was upset at slightly a missed opportunity with the hangout scene with Natsuki and Yuri. Because I thought we were gonna, because MC says he'll hang out with both of them, they could both come to his house. So I was like, oh shit, okay, maybe we're gonna see like the combination of the scenes, right? You know, we're gonna see like the Natsuki hangout scene with Yuri being there, and maybe the Yuri hangout scene with Natsuki being there, like a combination where, you know, you could probably see, I wonder what would happen, you know, what's the difference with that? Like, what would happen if Natsuki was there to help make the banners and Yuri was there to help make the cupcakes? But we kind of just ended up getting, all right, Natsuki's hangout scene, and then instantly Yuri's because he goes upstairs. And it's like, oh, I mean, I guess. Like, you know, it's like I was kind of hoping for something a little more interesting to set it apart, you know? I'd give it a B, I'd say. I'd say it's decent enough for a B. I did enjoy myself at the very end of it. And it did give like a nice, it did give like a little nice little ending to everything too, for people who want closure, you know? If they wanted closure after what happened in DDLC. It definitely, I could see somebody playing this for like their first mod and wanting closure for what happened at the end of the base game, and I could definitely see it giving that to somebody. So I honestly think it was pretty. I think it was pretty good for a B. Did it still have the finger licking? No, it removed the finger licking. You're right. We got to give it a C now. No finger licking. The creator, I think Ashage, I think that's how I say your name. He said the end was where I started getting better at modding. That's how I started using MPT. Yeah, because I do remember some of the expressions not exactly being on point, so that does make sense. But, you know, for your first mod, though, not bad. Yeah, for your first mod, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, the only advice I'd really give is try not to use almost any vanilla dialogue. Like, try to write all the dialogue yourself. I know that it seems very daunting to do that, you know, because it's very long to sit there and write all the dialogue, but you will definitely feel a lot better when you write all of it yourself, because it will definitely, it'll help you stand out more and people, you know, to remember it more. Yeah, for first mod, it was pretty good. Can I still sell MC Soul? Yeah, you can keep that. Like I said, you can keep little references to the base game. I think that's definitely fine. Because even like little like lines of vanilla dialogue is fine too. I just think when there's like almost entire scenes that are vanilla dialogue, that's where it's kind of an issue. Right, next, we have the end of the literature club. Okay, so I remember this one was the one with the production value, right? This one was the one with the crazy visuals. Yeah, this one was pretty short, if I recall, though. It was like 40. It was 40. Apparently, the video was like 41 minutes. So yeah, so this was the if the girls had the festival, but the festival went wrong, and they ended up shutting down the club because of it. So obviously, the one thing that is most noticeable about this mod is, like I mentioned, the production value. This mod has a lot of crazy visuals, and albeit very impressive visuals, they kind of get too much to the point where they start to be a little distracting. Like, it gets to a point where you don't even really feel like you're immersed into the mod, and it kind of just feels like you're watching like a YouTube video, which, you know, in some cases you may say, well, what's the problem with that, Zero? But it's like, well, because I feel like with visual novels, the point of visual novels is the interactivity of it all, right? That's what changes a visual novel from just a regular book or just watching, like, you know, like watching like I was gonna say watching a book, but that doesn't make any sense. A regular book. Let's stick to that. The interactivity of a visual novel, like, it really immerses you and makes you feel like you're kind of in the story, less so just reading a story. So I feel like when you can't really connect to it and it just kind of feels like you're like clicking and watching a YouTube video, you feel disconnected to what's going on. It also felt like some of the effects were unnecessary. Like, there's kind of like a shaky cam the entire time. Like, I don't know how to really explain it, because that's really the best way I think I can explain it. Because the camera's like constantly moving as if somebody's recording it. Like when watching an episode of The Office. Like, I don't... it felt unnecessary. Also, this one's like a slight nitpick. All the girls have drop shadows, too. I'm not a big fan. I don't know. The drop shadows make it feel like they're not actually in the world. I don't know how to describe it. Because, so, the girls look like how they look like on my thumbnail. Because, like, the background is Gaussian blurred, and the sprites have drop shadows. Like, they literally look like what I do to my thumbnails. And it looks really weird because it makes the girls stand out. But because of that, it doesn't look like they're actually in the background anymore. Like, it doesn't look like they're actually in the world they're supposed to be in. You know, it's like the drop shadows, I feel like, kind of, for me at least, it kind of makes it feel like they're not really there. I don't know. Like, it makes the background feel like it's not really there. But other than that, characterization, I remembered it being pretty okay for the most part. Don't remember it being any weird characterization issues. I remember everybody being in character for the most part. I liked the ending. I thought the ending was cute, where someone does finally join, that being like MC, and then that's when the mod finally asks you for your name, and I think that was actually a really cute little I think that was kind of cute. I thought it was cute that it had its own little song that played in the credits. I thought that was kind of nice. I do remember one thing I wasn't a big fan of was the mod seems like the goal was to show how all of the girls' lives have been affected by the club not existing, right? Like, Natsuki has to, you know, be at her house now to do a lot of her stuff, which obviously affects her because her father is constantly barging in and stuff. Although I do like the difference where her father isn't actually a bad person here. He's just kind of wanting to connect with his daughter, and he just can't. So I do like that, but even then, you know, obviously this still shows that Natsuki doesn't have her safe space anymore that she had before. You can see the effect it has on her. You can see the effect it has on Monica because she's just, you know, she's just like out of it really. Like you could tell the club meant a lot to her, and so she's just kind of, she kind of doesn't really know what to do with her, like with her spare time and stuff, you know. It's just kind of upsetting for her. It's upsetting for her. I think Yuri's was like, I remember it's like she gets called on class and she gets like really nervous. So like, I guess the argument made there could be that the club helped her like be more open to crowds. I don't actually know. Or maybe she's part of this problem too. Because my problem with this was at Sayori was my main issue. Because hers has no effect on the club closing. Like, she has a job now. And I'm like, I don't, how is this affected by the club closing? Like, I don't, couldn't she have still gotten a part-time job even if she didn't have the club? Build confidence. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, with Yuri, you can make the argument that the club helped her build confidence. So I was like, sure. With Sayori's, I have no idea how this is related at all. Like, she just suddenly has a job, and it's like, I guess without the club, Sayori would have a job. And it's like, is that a bad thing? Like, I don't know. I mean, she's making money. Like, it's like, I don't know. These two things don't seem related. You know, like, it felt like there wasn't really much correlation with Sayori's problem for me. Like, it just felt kind of random. Like, unless they were trying to say that Sayori having a part-time job was bad, in which case, I don't know, that's a weird message. Like, yeah, like I said, with Yuri, you can definitely try to make the case that it gives Yuri confidence, and I can understand that for sure, because, you know, I think, you know, I definitely could see them building up her confidence. With Sayori, it didn't really feel like there was much correlation, so. Another way to tie into Yuri's confidence with the Literature Club is with the rehearsals they did before the festival. Yuri could have been out of practice with speaking. I wish someone like Monica was there to help her. Yeah, I think that's actually exactly what I thought of too. I just didn't actually say it. But yeah, I thought of the rehearsal where they kind of practiced those before the festival. So yeah, I think that one definitely had a correlation. I didn't see any of the correlation with Sayori. But other than that though, I think that's basically all I really have to say about it. It had a good story. I didn't really understand the Sayori. I feel like the Sayori part could have been a little better. The visuals were kind of too distracting for me personally, but it had a decent message overall. Because it followed the hope message, you know. They held out hope and they ended up, you know, building up the Literature Club back. where it was. Even though it did kind of end, I guess it has an open-ended ending, you know, that Monica's just kind of reopening it back up with the new member. Actually, wait, did they ever say why the club even closed? Did they just close because they didn't get a new member? Is that really why? Hello, Editing Zero here. So just to clarify on this statement, yes, the mod does tell you why they closed down. Monica mentions it to the MC that the reason they closed was due to not having too many members. So it is mentioned. However, this is still slightly an issue because I don't know how they made it to the festival if they didn't have enough members for their club to create a club. Like, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, I don't because like in the original DDLC, Monica uses that as a way to make the MC join in Act 2. She says how they needed 4 members to be an official club. So like, I don't think the festival would allow non-official clubs to have setups. Like, I don't say this still doesn't really work, but I mean, I guess we're kind of told an answer. I don't know. I don't think this really works out though. I might have to give it just a standard B. It like, cause I don't know if I can give it B plus. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going with a B here. It was close to B plus, but I feel like it could have definitely used a little. The story could have used a little more of an explanation because it is short and sweet. But I feel like they could have showed a little more. There could have been a little more information for that, and also, you know, the visuals and Sayori, whatever the hell her getting a job is supposed to represent. But you know, still a B. B is still good. I think the reason why B's might be a big deal to a lot of people when it comes to this tier list is probably because looking at this tier list, B does look bad. Like, you know, it's the 4th tier from the bottom. So I could see why a lot of people might think like, oh my god, B, you know, like, B plus has made people think B fucking sucks. That's just, but yeah, B is still above average. I still consider B to be above average. Even if on this tier list, B plus looks like it's average. The way I typically rank these, I still view these as, you know, how a school would view a letter grade, honestly. The lowest this tier list still goes is average, like, because I still haven't played something I'd consider legitimately, like, bad. A lot of these I still just put at C because it's just, it's average. It's okay. I mean, again, it's like, I don't know. I don't really know how to call something bad. Like, the only way I can really call it bad if it's, like, actually, like, offensive. It's legitimately offensive. Because that's the thing. It's hard for me to say this is bad because a lot of these are typically A, free. A lot of these are free for me to play, so it's kind of hard for me to say it's bad. And B, like, I mean, they're being made by, most of them are written by amateur writers, so I'm not really expecting something like amazing, you know? A lot of these are made by people who don't really have too much experience when it comes to writing, so it's kind of hard for me to really be like, oh my god, this is so bad. Like, I'm already going in not really expecting much, you know? So for me, a worst something can really be is average. Oh, we might have found something that probably will not be in the coveted B tier. We got like 3 in B tier. Cardboard box. I had to give a little. I had to put a little text. I had to put a little thing on the logo because I feel like if I just put a cardboard box when people go to look at this tier list, they might be like, "What the fuck is that mod? That's just a box." Solid Snake in DDLC. I think Snake is in your tier list. Well, this one, speaking of short and sweet, this one's very short, but not as short as another one on this list. But this one is very short. This one is about, you know, it's about, this is post Sayori death. MC has been going through it, clearly. And he then eventually he gets a message in the mail. He gets a package in the mail. A package in the mail, but I know he gets a package, and it's a tape recorder of Sayori's voice, and the rest of the mod is Sayori giving a message that she basically, she recorded before she kills herself. And I think the part that really makes this like really work and very like depressing, it's like weirdly, it's in this. It is the perfect example of, I think, bittersweet, because Sayori gives a very uplifting and sweet message, like, to him, but as you know, she's dead, you know? It's like she's giving an uplifting and sweet message to someone after she's already planning on killing herself, so it's like, it's very much a bittersweet message. And, you know, in an MC, you know, he calls Monica and, you know, apologizes. Yeah, because he snaps at Monica earlier, and, you know, he apologizes to her, and then the mod ends. You know, it's very short and sweet. I like the visuals to this one. I like the little, there isn't too much visuals that are too crazy, so they're not too distracting or anything, but you know, I really do like the visuals though. I like the little, like, I think things that look like teardrops as the messages, as Sayori's message goes. I like that. I like the use of lack of text box. The text is just kind of on the screen. It does make the text a little hard to read at times. There are times where the text is a little hard to read, but it's not too bad. The text is still pretty easy to read though. Like, it's a little harder. Like, I'm looking back in the video, and it is a little hard to read the text, but it isn't too... Oh wait, never mind. I take that back. For some reason, my YouTube video was at 480p. Okay, well, yeah, it's fine. Text is easy to read, actually. Actually, what kind of? Wait, hold up. Okay, wait, no, there's some parts with the background where it's kind of hard to read. Now it's on the sidewalk, and it's kind of hard for me to see it. I don't think I have many issues with this mod. This mod actually is pretty well done. I think the only issue I remember having was, MC's snap at Monica felt a little too random. I think if I remember correctly, like, that was my thing where he just... Like, I understand what it was going for, but it definitely felt like his snapping, I think, could have been done a little better. Like, he felt like he was definitely just, like... It definitely felt like he was just... He just went off, and I was like, oh. But yeah, I think that was, like, really the only actual problem, and that wasn't even, like, a big one. I think that was, like, a big issue, as far as I'm aware. Especially considering the Monica thing wasn't even the main point. But, no, this was very good, though. Very good. I remember it got a lot of people crying in chat. I remember that for sure. A bit of a consequence of me speedrunning making the mod. Yeah, that's why I think that's why I didn't really harp on it too much, because that is one thing. These were definitely made for a mod jam. So people didn't have too much time, and it didn't feel like it was the main focus. And yeah, I was like, I think it could have been fleshed out a bit more. Like I said, that little scene with Monica could have been fleshed out a bit more, but overall, the actual message of the mod was still really good. And I think a lot of people could definitely still enjoy it. Honestly, I think it gets S tier. I think it was actually that. I think it was that good. I did enjoy it. I liked the emotions. Like I said, like when I said it was bittersweet. I was like, that's perfect for a Sayori mod. I was kind of hinting it at you guys. Throwing you guys little hints. Because I was like, Sayori's message in it is bittersweet, and I think that perfectly encapsulates Sayori's character. Is that she's bittersweet, you know? So it's like, she says she likes bittersweet things, and yeah, her message was bittersweet. She is sitting there, MC is sitting there listening to this uplifting message from his best friend who already committed suicide. So, you know, it's like, it's very much like Jesus. You know, like, you don't know how to feel. You're conflicted with your emotions. Like, you don't know whether or not to feel sad, whether or not to feel happy. You're conflicted. You're sitting there and you're conflicted, and I think it's very well done. I like the wording also. I like the way it's delivered. I think I like the way the tape recorder's delivered. I like that the words just appear on the screen, and I like how real Sayori's talking is. She's like trying to kind of feel happy about it and trying to kind of be uplifting, but it's also not really fully working. Like, she doesn't really know how to really talk about it. You know, until eventually she just starts giving him motivation and telling him, like, hey, don't do this, though. Like, I know I'm making a mistake, but I don't want you to do the same mistake I'm making right now. So I think I gotta give it an S. Was happy to win the mod jam, but Afro Zero S tiers where it's for real. I'm so glad that my silly looking Photoshop tier list means a lot to people. It actually does. It actually does feel. It does give me that like weird sense. It does like fucking feel weird, and people say that, or they're like, "Oh my god," they feel like really happy that I give them an S tier or something on the tier list, or just any tier. And I'm just like, I'm glad my opinion seems to be that valued in this community. Yeah, no, that one definitely. If I didn't give that an S tier, I feel like I'd be doing a disservice, because, you know, that one, I didn't cry, but I could definitely see why a lot of people did. You know, I don't cry to a lot of media anyway, so it's not much if I don't cry. It doesn't mean anything. Don't look at me. I'm a robot. Box. I had to put that in S tier because I feel like if anyone were to ask me for like a Sayori mod, I think I'd definitely recommend that one to them. That is very. No, it probably would get them crying. But actually, yeah, wait, maybe, I don't know, because I'm like, if someone just played the base game of DDLC, and they were like, all right, just played the base game. Anybody got any mods to lift my spirits? I'll sure play this one. And they're just like, well, no, I'm just sadder. And it's like, oh no. What did I do? What have I done? Like, I don't know, maybe they might be uplifted though, because Sayori does say some motivational things. So I don't know. Maybe. It's a crapshoot in terms of how they'll feel, alright? You're taking a gamble. They're either gonna feel really happy or really upset. They're gonna make them more sad. Play exit music, and now they're sad about Natsuki. Alright, so up next.